I learning English.
Uh-huh.
I try to learn English.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah.
you're successful. I
Yes,
can
yes.
understand you, so that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. And Jorgen, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Good. And have you had a good week so far?
Well, yes, I haven't done much.
Uh-huh. Just a regular week or
No, I'm trying to read and study, and I would like to finish the book that I'm I'm doing, The
uh-huh.
Secret Garden.
Ah.
I hope to finish it today, and then I will start a book log where I will make a folder on my computer where I will write down what kind of book I've read, and write something about them, and
Mhm.
move on from there.
Mhm. Awesome. Awesome. So are you gonna publish it on your blog that you told me about yesterday?
Uh, I will probably write something about it because
Mhm.
I turned my Squarespace website into a blog that has the theme of English language and literature. So
Oh,
I will write
awesome.
something, but I will make a book log. I don't know if you call it a log,
Uh,
so you know,
yeah. Yeah.
to for myself offline. So,
Mhm.
but I will
Yeah.
probably try to write something in public also.
Mhm. That's great. And hello, Anna Christina. How are you? How are you this evening?
Hello, teacher. I am fine, thank you. And you?
Very good. I'm actually kind of tired. This is my last class of the day, and so you know how you get kind of weary towards the end of the day. So it's late for you though, is it midnight? Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's midnight right now.
midnight. All right. So I could technically say good morning to you since it's technically AM. But so for Marina and Jorgen, it definitely is morning. But it's interesting when people come in, depending on where they are in the world, you say, okay, so Lithuania, Denmark, you say good morning.
Yeah.
Colombia, Brazil, you say, or Colombia, Mexico, good evening. And then somebody from Japan or Indonesia, good afternoon. so so it's important to know where people are and what time it is. So all right. So during this lesson, what we are going to do is talk about alternative investments, and it's kind of an interesting reading. So because they talk about different ways people invest, and then we will go through and do some comprehension questions, and then we will look at some prepositions, and then after that we will do some discussion questions, and then I also have another list of discussion questions that we will look at, and just the main, of course, purpose is to practice English and learn new vocabulary. So that is pretty much during this lesson. There'll be hopefully a lot more talking, and especially since it looks like it's going to be a small class as well. So at least right now, we'll see. It's only 4 minutes after. So um, all right. So the first question. Have you ever invested in the stock market? Marina, have you ever invested in the stock market?
I don't have ever invested in the stock market.
Okay. So in that respect, have you ever? You would say either. You would say I have never. Okay.
I have
Never.
never. Yes, I
So
have never.
I have never invested in the stock market. Okay. Jorgen, have you ever invested in the stock market?
No, I haven't. I have been thinking about it, but doing some research about it, I discovered it was quite challenging and complicated. It's not like buying a book or investing in a game. So I turned the idea down.
And it's
But it's
also
quite
quite
popular in Denmark.
yeah, it's quite risky as well.
Yes.
Uh, so the reason I've never done it is I've never had extra money that I can use to risk. So, but I have had stock. I worked for a company that gave me, I think I had 20 shares of AT&T stock, and I kind of wish I still had it because it would be worth a lot more money right now. So, Anna Christina, how about you? Have you ever invested in the stock market?
No, teacher. I
No.
I have I haven't.
hmm Have you ever thought about it?
No.
No. Okay. So, not at all. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and let's read the text and fill in the spaces using a word or phrase from the box below. So the words that we have are, and I will write them in capital letters also on the chats. So we have living room, bank, cars, and specialists. Living room, bank, cars, and specialists. All right. And so let's go ahead and start reading. And the main purpose for this, of course, for having you guys read is to practice your pronunciation. And then we will also look at any vocabulary words that you guys do not know. So Marina, can you start with the first paragraph?
Do you like to invest money? Many people either keep their money in the bank or invest it in the stock market. Recently, however, some other kinds of investments have become more popular.
Perfect. All right. And wine. Jorgen, can you read that?
Yes. You might think that wine is just for drinking, yet a growing number of people are buying cases of wine as an investment. You don't need to be knowledgeable about wine either. Can't choose a wine. Can't see the words. Forgot the words to choose from.
On the chat, in the chat in capital letters.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yes, specialists can choose a wine portfolio for you. You can store the wine at home, or if you are tempted to drink it, companies will look after the wine for you.
Yeah, I like that. If you're tempted to drink it, companies will look after the wine for you. Anna Christine, next one.
Paintings. Investing in painting doesn't have to be expensive. Instead, the advice is to buy paintings by local artists. You can often find quite cheap paintings in local antique shops or village sales. Another advantage is that you can display your investment in your living room.
Yes. Okay, and Marina, can you read about toys?
Toys. You might not think so, but toys are very popular with collectors. Teddy bears can be surprisingly valuable. Old toy cars are also very sought after, especially ones which are still in their original boxes.
Yeah. So, and then you kind of corrected yourself, so it's bears. So.
Teddy bears.
Yeah, so teddy bears. All right, so are there any words or phrases in here that you guys do not know? So,
In your tempted to drink it.
Okay, if you're tempted to drink it, so you have one. If you can store the wine at home, if you're tempted, basically, if you, I do this with chocolate. If I have chocolate at home, I think, oh, there's chocolate. I have to eat it. It's calling me. So that's kind of the same thing. So if you have a collectible wine, and you're the type of person that has to have wine,
Yeah.
and you run out of the regular wine, maybe you should not keep it at home. So myself, I would never drink it because I don't like wine, but I don't have that problem with chocolate. So, any other words or phrases? All right. Can you guys think of toys that were really popular, that are very popular collectibles or investments?
I don't think so. In my country, the old toys
Mm-hmm.
is good for give to the another boys or the poor children, but
Mm-hmm.
for to sell or for invest, I don't think so.
Okay. I just typed in Google Images, toy collector, and look what I found.
Mm,
Wow.
beautiful.
I believe that
It's
old
expensive.
model cars can be used as a collectibility that can be bought and sold.
Yeah.
They can be very rare and also very expensive,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and also perhaps some children's books. I don't know if they are exactly toys, but they can also be used as a commodity and cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Televisions, you sometimes see programs where people they have old things like antiques, and some of them are toys very rare and also expensive, and
Mm-hmm.
then they get a price for what and expert things they might be worth selling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's were you guys ever given a toy or something as a gift, and your family said, "You should be smart. Don't open it. It will be a collectible one day." So you
No, I
can't
can't
tell that to
remember.
children. So, hello, Ken.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So we're talking about investing and how most people invest in the bank and put their money in the bank, or
Mm-hmm.
they invest in the stock market. But
Mm-hmm.
these are some alternative investments:
Mm-hmm.
wine, paintings, or toys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know people who have invested in either wine, paintings, or toys?
I'm not sure about for the investing, but some people collecting toys and some figures, kind of anime figure or something, uh, kind of, cost a lot actually
Mm-hmm.
for collectors, not for the maybe people like me, but collector love it. They're
Mm-hmm.
willing to pay for that these in a high price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, there's some people that are definitely willing to pay pay a high price.
And some toys or anime character connect to the pop art or modern art. And
Mm-hmm.
some of them are kind of not displaying the MoMA, the New York Modern Art Museum. MoMA, I forgot the abbreviation.
MOA?
Yeah,
What
New
is
York
that?
Modern Art, New York Modern Art Museum, a kind of famous museum of for the modern art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the modern art and people do that.
I just
Um,
posted a link to a Danish page where you can see pictures of a very old toy that is being sold for quite a lot of money. There is a picture of a doll which is being sold for 1,200 Danish kroners. I think that's about 200 American dollars.
so did you guys didn't enter the Eurozone, right?
No, we have some what do you call it, footnotes to the EU
Charter.
agreements, but they might be changed. I don't know.
Man, I mean, imagine being the person who is, if you have no emotional attachment to something like this, and you're able to sell it for this amount of money.
Yes.
So,
Yes, it's very old. I think some of it are more than 100 years old.
and,
It
yeah. No,
has
question.
a fictional value. What do you call it when a fictional value, emotional value?
Yeah, yeah, it's emotional value basically is
Yes.
what it is. Question for you. I just remembered that since you're from Denmark, Denmark is the home of Legos or Legoland.
Yes, exactly.
Are Legos also quite popular? Or can they? Are there collectibles in Denmark for Legos?
Well, not that much. I think because they are most toys that where you create something yourself from. It's lately that they have created a more complicated toys at Lego. In the beginning, I think it was only bricks. So Lego has always been the concept of Lego has always been that the children themselves should create a toy, so to speak, from bricks and
from their own
yes.
mind, so forth. Okay.
But lately they have become more complicated because they also have to earn money and compete with the other toy companies. So they have made more like a product that has been finished.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and look at these comprehension questions. The article, I think, was quite easy compared to a lot of them that I've brought in to you guys. So let's look at these true and false questions. Let's start again. Without reading the article, you might actually get this one right. So could you read number 1?
Yeah, many people keep their money in the bank or buy stock. Yes, maybe.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Okay. No, number 2, Anna Christina, can you read that one?
Wine investors need to know a lot about wine. True.
Is it true? Let's
Yeah.
look at it. You don't need to be knowledgeable about wine either. Specialists can choose a wine portfolio for you. So that would be false.
Yeah.
False. Hello, Anton. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you.
All right. So, Anna Christina, can you tell Anton a little bit about this article?
We are talking about the investment. We were reading about alternative investment. We were talking about the question about have you ever invested in the stock market? Right now, we are answer the comprehension question.
Good. Okay. And so a lot of people keep money in the bank or invest it in stock, and the article is saying that there's other types of alternative investments, such as wine, paintings, and toys. So we have wine. Wine investors need to know a lot about wine. That is false. Jorgen, can you do number 3?
Yes, investing in paintings is always expensive. That has to be false.
Yeah, I think it probably depends on the painting.
Yes, it's also a gamble. If you spot someone who say he's a rising star, then you buy his painting cheap, and then you hope that your prophecy holds true.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right, and Marina, can you do number 4?
Number 4, antique shops and village sales are good places to buy painting. Yes, I think that if you don't want to invest a lot of money for paintings, you can find good alternative to buy it in the village sales or local shops, antique shops.
Okay, thank you. And Antana, even though you haven't read the article, could you read the sentence?
Not many people want to buy old cars. Old toy cars.
Toy cars. What do you think? Is that true or false?
I suppose it's true.
Okay, well, it's a good guess, but it's false. Actually, old toy cars are very sought after, and so they're very, very popular, apparently. And Jorgen was just showing us. This is an amazing website, and I'm sure it's like this in all countries. All these old toys that are for sale in Denmark for a fairly hefty price. And so these are real true antique cars. But we've got an old toy car and different dolls, stuff like this. I don't know. If someone buys it, my question is, how is it really an investment? How do you make your money back? So, anybody have an answer for me?
Well, you try to sell it on auctions or at markets. Sometimes people have their own small mobile thrift store where they sell stuff from tables.
Okay, so
even also in my town, it is only a small town with 2,000 inhabitants. There is often in the weekends out in front of the shops at a grassy area where people have all kinds of things, also old toys and books, and then people simply buy and sell.
So is that like a flea market?
You can make a killing, so to speak, if you are knowledgeable and look for it. You buy something very, very cheap, and then you can sell it for perhaps 5 times as much. It's very popular to buy and sell these things in Denmark.
Yeah. So are you talking about a flea market?
Yes, a flea market.
Yeah.
But we also have the thrift stores. They are of course. I use the term mobile thrift store because of lack of words.
Okay. Yeah.
We also know what a thrift store is.
Yeah. A boot sale.
Yes.
Does everybody know what a boot sale is?
No, but I heard of yard sale.
Yeah, yard sale is the American English. A boot sale is actually some
property.
Yeah, the yard sale, it's kind of what you described, only it's at somebody's home, and in the States it's actually quite popular to go on the weekends. Usually it's Thursday morning, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and not as much on Sunday and not always Friday. It's Thursday, but definitely Friday and Saturdays, where people during the summertime. People will have yard sales, and you can make a fairly good amount of money, depending on what stuff you have and things like that. But a boot sale is kind of similar to the yard sale, and they're common in the UK. And boot is from the back of the car.
Oh yes.
And so, kind of like what you kind of called a mobile cell. Well, it's kind of the same idea. And I had never actually heard of it, and until I was going through some material, and it showed this boot cell, and I'm like, really? What is that? So it's kind of the British way of not having people go to their homes, but having them buy elsewhere.
Another great place to buy and sell is eBay, where you can take pictures of your commodities. And but the drawback on eBay is that you have to pay quite a lot of money in in shipping, especially if you are from Europe and you want to buy in America, and vice versa. That can be that can make the whole difference if it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. In the States, we also have Craigslist. Do you guys use Craigslist at all? It's very
No.
popular in the U.S. And Craigslist is also a place where you can people go there to look for jobs. And they go there to all kinds of classifieds for pretty much everything. And it's one of the, I would say it is probably even more popular than eBay
Yes.
anymore. eBay is still popular, but Craigslist has become more popular in the U.S. And you use it, like I've bought Christmas gifts, and I've gotten free moving boxes and all kinds of free stuff. And if you have things you want to get rid of and you just don't know how to do it, you advertise it on Craigslist, and somebody in the area might contact you and say, yeah, I'll take your moving boxes, or I'll take that couch. So
I can see, I just looked it up. They also have a Craigslist in Denmark, Copenhagen,
yeah,
Craigslist UK.
yeah,
But
they have.
I never heard about it before. I will definitely look into it.
Yeah, it's all over the world, but it's not as popular, I think, outside of the U.S. I've never heard of anybody talk about it besides Americans, but we always like, yeah, we need to Craigslist it. So, all right, let's check some prepositions here. Marina, number one, can you choose the correct preposition?
Keep money in the bank.
In the bank. Okay. So do you keep most of your money in the bank, or do you just keep it under your mattress?
I keep money in the bank.
Okay.
Yes, always.
All right. I keep wanting to call you Craig Jorgen, but you look like one of my colleagues in Finland on your picture, and his name is Craig. So, Jorgen, can you do number two?
Yes, invest in stock.
Yes, invest in stock. So we haven't asked Anton or Ken if they have invested in stock. Ken's gone. Anton, have you ever invested in stock, in the stock market?
Yes, I have some privileged stocks.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I have.
Were you successful, or are you still waiting?
Well, so. I have some deposits from it, but not so much.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
I can sell it anytime and get my money back.
And you'll make some money. So far, you haven't lost it yet. Okay. All right. Anna Christine, could you do Anton, can you do number three, Anton?
A growing number of people.
Growing number of people. Perfect. Okay. And number four, Anna Christine.
Be knowledgeable. Be knowledgeable. This is the
Okay.
pronunciation.
No, we would say be knowledge. You got that right. But instead of able, we'd say be knowledgeable. So this EA here, right there.
Be knowledgeable.
No, not A. Be knowledgeable.
Be knowledgeable. Be knowledgeable.
It's Anna Christine, it's be knowledgeable.
Be knowledgeable.
Perfect. Be knowledgeable.
Be knowledgeable about wine.
Perfect. So are you very knowledgeable about wine, Anna Christina?
No, teacher.
No. Okay. How about you, Marina? Are you very knowledgeable about wine?
A little bit, yes. We like wine, and sometimes I and my husband, we attended a seminar.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. So you go to, do you also do wine tasting?
No.
Okay. Instead of I and my husband, we would say my husband and I.
Okay. My husband, we.
Or you could say sometimes we go to seminars about wine taste, or not wine tasting, but about wine and different types of wine. So, Is it important to you guys to match the right kind of wine with the right kind of food?
Yes. We figure out about wine and which kind of wine we can use with snacks, and what kind of snacks we can use and food with the other kind of wine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, because I've heard that people do that, they're very careful about that. I don't drink wine myself, so. Anton, you asked about me and my husband. When I was growing up, you would never say me and because when you say it fast, it comes out mean. And mean, the definition of mean is unkind. So you would never say that. However, the language has changed slightly, and it's becoming a more and more acceptable to say me and my husband. I personally would never do it. I was corrected enough as a child to never say it. but I think that it's not as wrong as it was 30, 40 years ago. So, but I think my husband and I is always still the best. So, Ken, how about you? Are you very knowledgeable about wine?
No, I just drink cheap wine.
Okay.
I cannot drink so much actually. I rarely drink alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a kind of good knowledge or kind of kind of food. Sometimes can be artistic. Some food or some drinks. Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I only drink wine when I'm around people that drink. So when I'm not around people that drink, or like, well, tonight I went out, met some friends at a local brewery, which is like a pub, and I ended up drinking non-alcoholic because I was driving, so it was good. Jorgen, are you very knowledgeable about wine?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I never drank much wine.
Yeah.
I don't drink alcohol today. That's a decision I have made. So.
Yeah, very similar to me as well. I think the last time I had wine was 2000. It's either 2011 or 2012, but I think it was 2011. So, Anton, how about you? Are you very knowledgeable about wine?
I'm not fan of alcohol at all.
Okay. All right. Now, number 5. Ken, can you do that one?
Number 5. Be popular blank collector. And the options are on the article.
They probably are, but they're also just prepositions.
Preposition. Be popular at. I don't know.
It's actually. Does anybody else have a suggestion?
Amongst.
With collectors.
With collectors.
Yes. Now, amongst would work as well. I was thinking among, but with is the correct one. So, be popular with collectors. For example, I don't know, what could be popular with collectors? It depends on what they're collecting, I guess. So, number 6, Marina, can you do that one?
Be in the original packaging.
Okay. Have you ever bought anything and left it in the original packaging, Marina?
No. When I buy something, I always throw this box, and sometimes I am very worried about it because if I need to lend, no,
Borrow.
go out, borrow. No, not borrow. No. Um, if I don't like the thing, I need to take it to the shop. Yes.
Okay, so then that one would be to returned.
Return. Yes. I need to return.
Okay, so return is okay. Yeah. So you wish that you had kept the boxes because you may need to return the item to the store. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ken. How about you? Do you ever buy something and leave it in the original packaging?
To keep it unpackaged. Packaged. That means.
Yeah. To keep it nice.
No, I'm not kind of practical person. I buy something to use or to listen or to, yeah.
Okay.
So, maybe I don't. But I stock some earphones, cheap earphones, unpackaged because earphone is easily break. So I'm stocking now, unpackaged. Yeah, unpackaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And Jorgen, how about you? Have you ever bought something and left it in the original packaging?
Not that I can recall. It should only be because if you buy a magazine, perhaps that is very rare. Then you buy one for yourself, and then you buy a copy you don't unwrap in order to sell, perhaps many years later.
I think
this would be a rare item, and in 10 years it would be worth a lot. So you better buy a copy and keep it in the package so you can sell it in mint condition and make and earn some money, or perhaps use it as a gift.
But I think most of us don't even think to do that. It's a great idea, but don't think maybe the first edition of a magazine. You buy 2 copies, you read one, and you keep the other one. So Anton, have you ever bought something and left it in the original package?
Yeah, and it's a first aid box. I never unpack it.
Okay, well that means you'll never need it. You haven't needed it, right? So that's good. All right, Anna Christina, how about you? Have you ever bought something and left it in the original packaging?
I like to have the original packaging. Sometimes the packaging is beautiful. It's good to have. It's I think that for example when I bought my phone.
When I bought my phone?
Yes, I like so much the bus. I have the bus, and my cell phone has 1 year, and I had the bus.
Okay. What? I'm just out of curiosity. What cell phone did you buy?
Samsung S4.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I know what box that is. Yeah. That's okay. But the iPhone is even nicer. So. I bought it. I just bought it. Got an iPhone 5C. And I'm like, this box is very, very nice. So, all right, and let's go to the next one. Preposition check number 2. So number 1, Jorgen, could you do that one?
I return the item in its original package.
Yeah. So number 2, Anton.
I was very knowledgeable of 18th century art.
Okay, it's not of, so it's knowledgeable about.
Oh, about.
About. Okay, and Anna Christine, number 3.
A growing number of people use the internet at home.
Yes. And Ken, number 4.
Janet has invested in technology stock.
Okay. And then number 5, Marina.
Andy doesn't like risk, so he keeps all his money in the bank.
Okay. And Jorgen, number 6.
Computer games are popular among both children and adults, or
Yes.
with children
With.
and adults.
Yeah, I think with is the more common one. Among though it works very, very well.
You don't use an S in the amongst.
Yeah, we do. But we don't use it as often. With regular conversation English, a with is the most commonly used between the two.
Therefore, you also don't have the predicament of choosing between among and amongst, because sometimes I think it's difficult if you have to write among or amongst.
Yeah, and amongst amongst is pretty much a literature word. It's used pretty much only in literature. People don't actually say that very often, if at all. So
there's no grammatical difference between the two, so
not that I know of. So
okay.
Yeah, but it's just not used. So all right, let's go on to these questions right here. So let's start with Ken. Ken, do you think that wine, paintings, and toys are good investments?
I don't know this kind of field so much, but maybe it covers a kind of niche market. So if your items or kind of goods are very rare and to appeal to the niche market or collectors, it could be a good investment. But it's difficult before that you have a knowledge about that.
Yeah, you have to know something. Yeah. Like for example, with books, you have to know a little bit about books to know if that book is rare or not.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. Marina, what other kinds of investments are popular in your country? And not everyone that's Lithuania, by the way.
I think that in our country, the most of popular investments, there is real property.
Real estate.
Yes, real estate. Yes, yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And, is real estate risk? What do you guys think? For anybody who wants to answer, is real estate riskier than stock or about the same?
I don't think so. I don't think that it's risky. Sometimes price is higher, but after years, it's cost. It costs. You can take your money and more. Yes, more than you invest.
Okay. So
it's also a question, I believe, if you how do you invest in your stock? Do you spread them over different kinds of companies, or are we just talking about investing in one kind of company? Because I think then real estate is the more sure investment. But on the other hand, if you invest in stock and spread them over a lot of companies, then perhaps investment in stock could be the more or the better investment than real estate, because real estate can also be subject to a change. I don't know.
A risk.
You have to understand. You have to make sure that there are no. I think they call it servitude or something like that, connected to what the property that you buy, because sometimes there are some hidden rules connected to a property or to a property.
Yeah, and what I heard
judicial small detail, you know, that suddenly people can discover that they are not entitled to live like in a collective in a house. I read a story recently about families that live together in an expensive house, and they suddenly found out that they were probably not entitled to it anyway, because the neighbor had complained, and there was some kind of a clause. I think it was a density clause, that the only one family could live in the house, and they had bought the house, and they lived in harmony, and it was a very expensive house in an expensive part of town in the United States. So, and that was an investment for these people. So you never know with real estate. So
Yeah, it's like one thing that my my mom's husband was telling us about. He and his first wife, when they were maybe 20, 30 years ago, they invested in some real estate, and they had a duplex. Does everybody know what a duplex is?
no.
A duplex is, in British English, it's a semi-detached house. So I'll show you on Google Images. But a duplex is basically two houses that are stuck together usually. And so he had it was either a duplex or a fourplex. So he may have had. So you have two houses, and you have a garage in between, or in this respect, it's two together. But it was either a duplex or a fourplex, and a fourplex is pretty much the same, only there's four houses.
In Denmark, we call them double houses.
Yeah. So, but anyway, he had that, and apparently one of the tenants, in this house was a drug dealer, and they were making meth in the home. You guys know methamphetamine, which is a real popular drug here in the U.S. and it was so bad that once the people were caught and arrested, they had to actually condemn the home, and so they lost all of their money on this this real estate investment, which was really too bad.
Demolished the house because of health reasons.
Yeah, they had to demolish the house because of some bad tenants.
Yes, so the whole building was destroyed because of these meth gases.
Drug dealers. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely, and so that's so whenever I've mentioned something to my mom about investing in real estate, she's like, "Be careful." So.
Yes, that's a lot of law and judicial things you have to be aware of.
Yeah, definitely.
You almost always have to consult a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right. Next question. So, yeah, okay, Jorgen, this is your turn. Do you like to take risks with money?
No, only when I was younger I liked to play on soccer games. You can call that a kind of risk, but not today. I don't like that.
Okay. And Anton, do most people in your country invest money?
I don't think so. No, not most.
Okay. Just maybe people who have the money. So.
Yeah, people who have money, they actually do.
Yeah, that's in my country. That's how it is. If you're upper middle class and above, you probably invest. If you're at lower middle class or below, you probably do not. Anna Christina, do you think it's safe to keep money in the bank?
Yeah, it's more safe it's safer in the bank than my house.
Under your mattress.
Hurts.
We
and
have,
looking for the money in the house.
yeah. We have,
Yeah, under the mattress.
yeah, we have it's a joke in English. It's maybe in your countries as well. That these people, they are maybe single, and they pass away, and their nieces and nephews find millions of dollars under the mattress. So, um, Ken, do changes in the stock market affect you?
Not directly, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't have it, but maybe influence indirectly.
Uh-huh.
It affects the economy, and the economy affects me or other people like me. So
Uh-huh. So indirectly, it
indirectly,
is, yeah. All right. Okay. Excuse me. I have some other questions on investments, so bear with me while I bring those up on the screen. And so, some questions here. So, Marina, Marina, what's the difference between saving and investing money?
Saving money, we can saving money. We can keep this money at home,
Mm-hmm.
and we can put money for our future. And
Mm-hmm.
investing money, we invest money that then we can give more money.
We can receive more money or get more money. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So saving is both of them are, and both of them is saving is getting money for the future. But with investing, you might be able to double or triple or quadruple the money. Whereas saving, it's just keeping the money but not doing anything else. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So Jorgen, what do you know about how a stock market works?
Well, I don't know much. What I do know is what I have seen in movies.
Mm-hmm.
We have all seen the dramas on Wall Street in movies, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, that's about all I know too.
I just recall the movie with Eddie Murphy where he plays a bomb, and then he
Mm-hmm.
is I cannot remember what it's called in English, but it's about where they make a what is it called, the boss and the bomb. It is called in Danish with Eddie Murphy where he plays a bomb, and then they reverse the roles so that he becomes the rich guy, and the rich guy becomes the bomb. But
Oh.
anyway, it ends with a drama at Wall Street where they have made some kind of trick and phony things so that they lose a lot of money in very short time, and it's quite
Mm-hmm.
funny. And I cannot remember what it's called, but anyway, it's with
Eddie
uh,
Murphy?
yes, Eddie Murphy. It starts when he plays a Vietnam vet that is both blind and cannot stand on his legs. And the scene is in I think it's in New York City at Christmas time, and two police officers they spot him, and then they lift him up, and then he hovers in midair, and suddenly he stretches his legs and say, "It's a miracle! I can walk! I can walk! I can walk!" And then
Is it
later he
this
say,
one?
"It's a miracle!
Oops.
I can see! I can." Yes, that's it. That movie has to do with investments and stock and in a comical setting. So
Trading
I think
trading
that's what I know
places.
about. That's what I know about stock and investment from that
Yeah,
movie.
from this movie. This with those two actors, I could see where this would be really good. And it was back in the '80s when they really made good movies too. so,
Yes.
so, yeah. All right, I'll have to check that one out. I have not seen it before. So I think I was 12 at the time. So Anyway, let's go on. Anton, when you see, hear, or read the news about the stock market, do you know what they are talking about?
Well, last time when I see news about stock markets, it was about a couple months ago when it was actually some political news about new sanctions about Russian present Russian government, and
Mm-hmm.
some stock markets fell down, and so I saw news about that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the last time, and you understood it though.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I actually, actually, I have an associate degree in economics and marketing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right.
I
You said that
understand.
yesterday. Yeah. Uh, I studied business in my degree, but I did not remember anything about that stuff. So, um, all right. Anna Christina, when do you think would be the best time to sell or buy shares?
I don't have idea, teacher.
Any
But
idea?
no.
It's funny because what I was thinking, the best time would be first thing in the morning. So who knows? Or maybe late at night. So, Ken, have you ever considered buying shares in a company?
No, I've never considered buying shares in a company. Maybe I don't have a talent for that kind
Uh-huh.
of field.
Yeah. Right. Marina, what
Yes.
sort of business would you invest in?
I have never invested in.
But would you? What
Yes.
sort of
No,
business
no,
would you?
I don't want to invest.
No interest.
It's
Okay.
not interested for me.
Yeah, okay. Next question, Jorgen. Ethical investing refers to the practice of only investing in companies which you consider to be ethical. For instance, you would invest in a company which is involved in producing clean energy, but you would not invest in a tobacco company. What do you think about investing in this manner?
Well, I think it is very important, and I would only invest in something that I felt would benefit people.
Mm-hmm.
I have lent money out in microfinance in the microfinance sector, and I still receive repayments, and I lose a little of the
Mm-hmm.
money, but I would rather invest in poor people in third world countries trying
Mm-hmm.
to build a shop and make a living than I would invest in McDonald's or something like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
will also say that I would very much enjoy investing in things that would benefit children, like education or schools,
Mm-hmm.
if you can call that an investment. But I
I
think
agree
that
totally with
is
you.
because you don't perhaps get a lot of money in return, but you do get a lot of other things in return, like you can hear about the advances that are being done in the poor
Mm-hmm.
countries because of
Yeah.
your investments. And
Mm-hmm.
the joy
But
that when you lend out money, then you hear like half a year later that the person has a woman perhaps in Africa has started her shop, and it is going quite well, and now she can enhance because there
mm-hmm.
are some people who like to lend out money in the microfinance sector.
Yeah. Do you use Kiva?
Yes, I use Kiva.
Okay, that's the
And
one I use it too. I
yeah,
haven't. I actually have not done any investing in probably about 2 years. But it used, you just put $25, and then when they paid it back, then you'd take that money and you'd invest it again in somebody else,
some
and
of
then
the
you.
repayments are so-called delinquent, and some are late,
Uh-huh.
and
But
some
yeah.
has to do with the change in currency between countries. But it's
Uh-huh.
not. I think it's 1 or 3% perhaps that you
It's very
lose.
low.
It's not that
Yeah.
much. But
I
you
have
certainly help these people when they
definitely.
start from scratch. They have absolutely nothing. They start with
Mhm.
like they want to lend money for a sewing machine, and then they start from there, And I
Mhm.
take my hat off for these people, especially these women in countries like the Arab countries, I saw a picture
Yes.
of a group of women. They didn't even was allowed to show their faces because of cultural differences, but still they asked for money to borrow money to start a business, and I think that was amazing.
Yeah,
That
awesome.
they are working like uphill.
Hmm.
So they
Yeah.
are great inspiration for everyone who wants to try to advance in life.
Yeah, exactly. I had one investment go delinquent, and 2 years later they were able to pay it back. So I have not lost any money at all. So
So
anyway, everyone, I want to thank you for your participation. It's already
yes,
time
thank you.
to go on. Everybody have a great. So let's see, Anna Christina, sleep well when you finally get there. And
Thank
Ken,
you,
have a
teacher.
great afternoon and evening, and the rest of you guys, and then Anton, also have a great afternoon and evening. And Marina and Jorgen, have a great day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
very
Bye.
much.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. See you.
Good night.
See you later. Bye.